Hi guys, my name is Noura Baida. Let's look at the poem The Garden of Love by William Black. At first, let's start by the context of the poem. William Black was born in London 1757. He was a spiritual man, but he was very critical on the Church of England and of organized religion. This is when the focus of religion placed on obeying the rules and laws, or else one will be punished by God. The poet makes a clear difference between spiritual meaning of genuine relationship with the God, which brings joy, freedom, and happiness, and religion, which causes guilt, shame, and oppression because it is impossible to obey all the rules and laws made by church. Comments on how religion, a set of rules, turns the world from a garden, joy and life, into a graveyard, death and decay. The poem is not against being religious. It is against the way that religion has become organized, a big focus on obeying rules and laws, which is the opposite of the original message, which is love, joy, and happiness. The poem argues that organized religion kills the joy of living. The Garden of Love. I went to the Garden of Love and saw what I never had seen. A chapel was built in the midst, where I used to play on the green, and the gates of this chapel were shut, and thou shalt not ward over the door. So I turned to the garden of love, that so many sweetest flower bore, and I was filled with the graves and tombstones where flowers should be, and priests in the black grounds were walking there round, and pining with prayers by joys and desires. Let's analyze the structures of the poem. This poem has 12 lines, and they are 3 stanzas over there, which consist of 3 quartets, means a group of 4 lines. So each stanza is made up of 4 lines. Let's talk the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E, G, H, I, J. So we see that stanza 1 and 2 follows the same rhyming pattern A, B, C, B. So the second and the fourth line, stanza 3, only has internal rhyme and has longer line than the rest of stanza. This is to emphasize the death and decay of the garden of love. The poet tells us that he went to the garden of love. This could be referring to a peaceful and joyful place that the speaker visited before, but it is also symbolic for the state of incarnate joyfulness. In the second line, and so what I never had seen. The word never is in line 2 shows the speaker shock and disbelief. It's also interesting to note that line 2 ends with a colon, and this shows that its explanation is about the follow. The third line, a chapel was built in the midst. The word chapel here represents the church and organized religions and the whole. Midst, the word midst means the middle. Here is the speaker shows how the chapel is intruding and trespassing. Here I used to play on a green. Play, the word play is associated with freedom and joy, which it was a garden should be filled with a green refers to the grace and open space. Stanza 1, and be summarized and a compression of how the Garden of Love used to be and how it is now. In the line 5, the word "gats" symbolized to the restrictions and loss of freedom. Stanza 3 can be summarized as a description of negatively and death healing ruined the joyful life that once was in the garden. It shows that the happiness and joyful of life was being destroyed by organized religion. Let's look at metaphorical meaning for this poem. Garden of Love is a symbolic of biblical Garden of Eden, earthly paradise where the first human lived joyful and innocence, before sin ruined their innocence and joy, referred to as the fall of man. The poem describes how things were before and after the fall of man, but the fall is caused by organized religion instead of sin, the initial narrative. The poet believes that organized religion is the modern case for the fall of man because it kills mankind's joy and happiness in life. It goes against the original purpose of religious love, joy, and freedom. Let's take a look of symbolism we had seen in the poem. Garden of Love represents Garden of Eden, living in joy, freedom, and innocence. Chapel represents the church. It is ignored organized religion. Graves represent death and destruction. Gates represent restrictions and oppressions. Flowers and green represent life, freedom, and joy. Thanks for listening, guys.